Martine created, and she'll tell us why, a new company, United Therapeutics, which was founded in, I think, 96, IPO'd in 2002. Since the IPO, the stock value has multiplied 10 times.
More like 20 times.
20 times. I thought it started out, it's now at around 107 or so.
Yeah, it's 6.
It started at 6, okay. I started it at 12.
We had a 2-for-1 split,
okay,
so that's
I missed
why.
that split. Okay, and has a market cap today of over $5 billion. So talk about that piece of your life, and I'm conscious of time because I also want to leave time for students, about that piece of your life, and again, how you transferred this navigational strategy of solving things that nobody else can solve or even see the solution to into this biotech venture.
Thanks, Judy. So there's a lot of other, very smart, synergistic thinkers. I actually owe a lot of those skills to courses I took at UCLA here. There was like a really, really great undergrad engineering course I took called Patterns of Problem Solving. And there's another textbook I was given in management school called Systems in Action. It was the systems approach to problem solving, where it talks about turning a problematic environment into a sustaining environment. Another way people phrase that nowadays is sort of like to obsolete the dilemma. When you see some dilemma, think it like at a higher level of how you could obsolete that dilemma. So these type of what I call synergistic thinking skills are things that I was able to learn here at UCLA. So it's this kind of synergistic thinking, and the other so it's always be open-minded. And I try to actually start all of my meetings in my companies by saying like, I'm completely open-minded. People can say any idea that they have, anything they want. You've got to be open-minded. And again, here at Anderson, we had classes, related to developing those skill sets and brainstorming, and the importance of not being negative when you're trying to put everything on the whiteboard. That's not the time to critique things. That's the time just to put everything on the whiteboard. So most important is to be open-minded. Because if you're not open-minded, you're never even going to get through the gate of entrepreneurial success. The next most important thing, though, is being practical. And practical does not mean not doing something crazy, wild, and revolutionary. It means doing something crazy, wild, and revolutionary in a really smart way, in a way that's staged, step by step by step, in a way that might not be absolutely perfect, but it's close. One of my favorite quotes is from Warren Buffett, who was at the event that Judy and I were together a few months ago, who says, it's better to be almost right than perfectly wrong. And so many entrepreneurs, they are open-minded and they have like a great idea, an idea nobody thought of. But then they get like locked on that, it being that precise idea with that precise implementation and that precise market share, because they're obsessing on it and they want it to be perfectly like this. And they fail because it was not practical for it to be this perfect vision of theirs. And if you said to them, well, why don't you try to achieve 75% of that goal with this related product, they often, don't want to do it. But that's the almost right versus perfectly wrong. Another example, my current biotech company. When I started it in '96, it was because our youngest daughter was diagnosed with a fatal illness. And there were no medicines approved by the FDA. And so that's like what you call like a seriously problematic environment. And somehow I had to convert that problematic environment into a sustaining environment. So the thing I thought of, because I was not really a medical person, was, there must be a pill, but there wasn't a pill. So I thought, well, maybe I could make a pill. And it turns out that there was a medicine I could make. And it was something that would help her. And thank goodness she's 29 years old now and doing very well. But this medicine, with the technology that was available in the early 2000s, could only be delivered through a continuous subcutaneous infusion. Like, I don't know if any of you have friends who are, say, diabetics, and they use this kind of pump called the Minimed pump, which is a little subcutaneous catheter they put under their skin, and they can program it to give themselves insulin like after meals and stuff. It's actually made right out here in the San Fernando Valley. So that's what we ended up having to use to deliver our medicine. It wasn't a pill, but it saved people's lives. And I had to be almost right instead of perfectly wrong. I had to think outside of the box in terms of saying, I can do something about this situation. I, who am not a pharma person, who's a satellite person, I could do something to help save my daughter. But then I had to do it maybe not perfectly. And then with time, things get better and better. By 2009, I had led an effort to take that infusion and make it a 4 times a day inhalation. So what people used to have to like pump into their skin 24 hours a day, they could now take 9 puffs of something just 4 times a day and get the same effect. And then I just kept telling people, let's keep working on a pill, a pill, a pill. Then in December, just last month, the FDA approved our pill form of this medicine using like super high-tech laser drilled pills to allow the medicine to dissolve only in the duodenum, the first 10 feet or so of the small intestine. So all this kind of high-tech built into a pill. It took, like 96 to 2013. It took, 15, 16, 17 years. But we didn't give up. And that's the third thing I would share with you, the third and final one. So one, you got to be open-minded, okay? Don't criticize things before they even get on the whiteboard. Put them on the whiteboard. Secondly, you have to be practical. It's better to be almost right than perfectly wrong. Stage things. And third, never give up. Never, ever, ever give up. My current for like this month or so, signature line on my Outlook email is a quote from Diane Nyad, the wonderful 64-year-old woman who swam from Cuba to the U.S. shark-free cage. She first tried it when she was 30, okay, and didn't succeed. She tried it, multiple other times and didn't succeed. And again, Judy and I had the honor to see her in October in Washington, and she just said, you just never, ever, ever give up. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, you will succeed if you don't give up.
I just first wanted to say that one of my best friends has pulmonary hypertension, and she recently moved from the pump to the inhaler and has dramatically improved her life. So thank you for your perseverance.
Thank you for sharing that. I love hearing real life stories like that. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.